Yeah, so I guess this is a good point where we can start going into the next topic, which is athletic transferability, right? Like because of your background in different sports, right? Did rugby have an impact on your ability to just be powerful in powerlifting? Like just having that sort of background in rugby specifically.
In my case,
Yeah,
absolutely. The only reason I started lifting weights was because of
yeah,
rugby,
yeah.
and it also developed that ability to grind mentally. Through the
Mm,
cardio pain and the rain and the cold and the tough conditions.
right.
Um, yeah, it was my first step into actual tough competitive sport.
Mm,
That into powerlifting, carry the same sort of mentality, but in a different.
Yeah, I would agree with Darren
Mm,
because a team sport like rugby, which is very rough, it shapes you. It shapes your character.
mm,
So once you have that, you can transit to any other sports that you want.
mm.
And
Yeah.
being stronger in rugby days, it's definitely a plus point
Mm.
because you'll take like more guys to take you down because you have stronger legs, stronger back, and everything. You can just plow yourself your way through everyone. Yeah,
mm,
definitely a plus point. Hmm.
mm. Right. So, you guys definitely had an advantage like playing a sport before and then coming to powerlifting, right? Is there any advantage like being explosive? Like just trying to figure out like what is it about rugby that is makes it really transferable to strength training? Like is it the explosiveness, the like you say it could be the mindset as well, like just being like really aggressive, like or even strongman I'd say like or MMA as well. Like how does that translate into strength
any sort of adversity, whether it's in
adversity?
training or
Right.
life, will help you to develop mental toughness.
Mm,
As we all know, like
mm,
working against resistance in the
mm,
purest sense, like with a barbell.
mm,
That's exactly what you need to do. You need to understand your body. You need to understand what it can and cannot do,
mm.
and
Yeah.
develop enough stimulus mentally to overcome what's in front of you.
Yeah. Like
That's why you can
mm,
see. I'm sure you do coaching as well, and
yeah, yeah.
you have clients who has done sports, and you have clients who's never done anything in their life.
Mm,
You can see the difference. It's very significant, and yeah,
yeah, yeah.
it'll take them far longer to
Mm,
build
definitely.
themselves up because they don't know what's coming.
Mm,
Like what Darren mentioned about adversity.
mm,
Adversity forces growth.
yeah,
If adversity fucks you up,
yeah,
it makes you grow. One way or another, you have to grow, or you
yeah,
just quit.
yeah.
Yeah, so I would say there's a lot of transfer and carryover from other sports. Even if your past sport is like playing chess, board games, or whatever, you still have that idea of strategizing,
Yeah.
the idea of like I'm not gonna let this motherfucker win,
Mm, mm, mm,
so
mm,
I have to do my best, to win him.
mm,
So it's still transfer. So any sort of sports that you've done before will have a carryover.
mm. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
just
just
like a mindset thing as
how
well.
closely related it is to strength.
Mm, mm,
If someone with a chess background, board games, they probably don't have the base strength, but they have the strategy. Maybe they
mm,
can plan better. But
mm,
for guys, who did contact sports or football or whatever,
mm.
maybe they don't have that part, but they have, the grit,
Yeah, the
to
grit, the
go through
physical
all those
grind,
things. Yeah,
like to push
definitely.
out that last, that last bit of running, that last bit of
Correct. That's my
everything,
point.
and yeah, and I feel like that's like the differentiating factor. I think that's why we see a lot of like successful like US athletes, like because they have that foundation in because their sports program in the US is fantastic, right? And so we see a lot of these people coming in like with a fantastic background. And yeah, I kind of wonder when we'll see that in Malaysia, where it's like we have this saturated pool of competitors, and I think that'd be pretty sick, that because the thing right now is like I've covered in the last season as well. It's like the competition in Malaysia is not that stiff yet, so we don't really see any of these freaky guys that come out, um, and especially like at the bigger weight classes is really obvious as well. Um,
Honestly, the the competition in Malaysia is not that stiff,
Mm.
if you want to use that word. It's
Yeah.
because coming back to the same statement that I made,
Mm.
they don't really stay that long in the sports.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
2 to 3 years, you won't see your true potential. Probably you need 5 years. So
Mm.
if you have a set of specimen of candidates who's done policing for 5 years or more,
Mm.
then you can see the difference.
Mm. Mm.
You
Mm.
get what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I feel like longevity. I mean, like consistency. Like over time. Yeah, 3 years is a bit too
Yeah.
short of a time to like actually show like most of my progress as well. Like they came in the third year. Like it's the first year and second year. Yeah, that there are big jumps, like easier jumps, but like the significant milestones where it's like, um, I guess because it's closer to my current self, I guess. But like the significant milestones are starting to come right now. Where I've
Right.
kind of got the foundation down about like how you feel about yourself, your body, and how you feel
It's
about
your
yourself,
body.
lol, self confidence. Yeah, like how you feel about your body. Like you know what's going on, you know what works, you know
Mhm.
what doesn't, and kind of just trying to like tweak that, optimize it. Like yeah, definitely. Um, I feel yeah. Ah man, I wish like yeah. I think I competed once back in 2017. That was quite late as well, not like 2013, 2014. But yeah, there are a few faces that I haven't really seen um again competitively. Not sure why. Like you said, maybe it's just like a consistency thing. Um, but yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. I just wish that the scene would be more mature in that way. I kind of just come out a bit. Yeah. So right now it's cheesy and Zaro for the time being. Yeah. Maybe we can talk a bit more. Like give me a sec.
Yeah,
Let's
no problem. I mean,
yeah.
there's a lot of things to touch on when it comes to piloting and the current generation.
Mm,
There's a lot of things that, I mean, it's a long forum to discuss on actually.
mm. Yeah, the current generation, right? Well, what are your thoughts like besides the ones you shared just now? Like, I guess from back then. Like, I mean, how many people back then are still training now? Like, that's a pretty good place to start, right? Like,
Probably
besides
no one.
you, no one back then.
If you're talking about when I was like 14 to 17
Yeah,
years old, no one.
yeah. That was competitive back then. That's still competitive now. No,
Nah.
no, not in Malaysia.
I think they stopped or they shifted to a different sport, or maybe they got married or something.
How do you feel about that? Like, just having this reign over like your category. Like I mean, there's no one upcoming to poke at you, not yet.
It gets very boring. It
Yeah,
gets very boring. It gets
yeah,
very dull. You don't have that extra push
yeah.
because I've always been competitive my whole life. Back in rugby, if I see anyone bigger than me, I mean the opposition team, my coach would tell me, I don't care how tall he is or how much bigger he is, you are the biggest guy in the field. It's the same mindset I carry over to powerlifting.
Mm,
Like I don't care, whether you're this, you from there, you studied here or there, you moved here, you have the best or had the best coach ever. I'm still gonna beat your ass. I don't care.
mm, mm,
Yeah, that's my mindset. Yeah, and another thing is an advice for the current generation is stop comparing yourself with other lifters.
mm. I think
Like
that's very often now, like with the social media and everything.
yeah, yes,
Yeah,
correct. It's very accessible, and you can't compare yourself to top lifters.
yeah.
I'm not saying I'm a top lifter. I'm nowhere near top
Mm,
lifting. John had this and that. Ray Williams. You can't compare yourself to them. They've been training for God knows how long,
yeah, exactly.
and yeah, they've been trying things that you have never done before. So
Mm,
stop comparing. It's nice to feel that sudden surge of motivation or drive,
mm,
but it's not nice to compare. Like, oh, it took him 10 years to get there.
mm,
What if I do 10 years and I'm not going to get there?
mm.
So what? At least you tried. It's
Yeah,
those kind of things. You just gotta stop because everyone is different. Genetically, different. How you're brought up, different. Don't compare. Just be yourself and enjoy the journey.
yeah. Enjoy the journey. That's very important. Yeah, You heard it here
Yeah.
first. Yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah, it's very difficult nowadays. Like everyone, like so, since powerlifting has become like this huge thing on social media, or at least like social media has made powerlifting more like has connected the community together. Like globally, and yeah, it's easy to kind of lose track and to idolize someone at least, or to kind of say like I want to do that without realizing that the journey that it takes to get there. We say this person's been training for 10 years, but like do you actually understand like what kind of mindset it takes to train for 10 years, like to just keep going and not stop, like and
And what
yeah,
he's gone through. It's those
exactly,
kind of things. A lot of things. A lot of things.
yeah, yeah. Do you think you'll ever stop kind of training, or is it something that you keep doing until one day you physically can't?
Well, honestly, I don't know how long I live, but I might quit powerlifting. I might quit strongman, but I won't quit training. That's the
mm,
difference. It's my salt and pepper. Like, I can't live without it.
mm,
I'm a smoker.
mm,
Um, I drink occasionally and those kind of things, and those things are bad enough for me.
mm,
So I need to balance it in a way.
mm,
Well, somehow I feel better when I train and knowing that I smoke. Maybe I feel be healthier, this kind of thing, instead of just smoking and doing all this bad shit without doing anything else. You know?
mm,
Yeah. You just gotta learn how to enjoy things along the way.
yeah,
That's very important.
yeah,
That's what keeps you going.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, nice to talk about like the philosophy, like your philosophy towards like life, and like just how to look at things in general, like because yeah, personally, like I'm the kind of guy that's like, yeah, you know what, whatever comes along the way, like just
Oh, you're back.
persevere through it, Hey, Darren is back. Everything
Okay,
okay?
all good, awesome. Yeah. Sorry, where were we?
Yeah, nah, me and Zara, we were just talking about the community and like the different generations of training, like how I was asking Zara about whether any competitors he knew back then when he started out was still competing today, and he couldn't name a single one. So yeah, we're just talking about consistency and yeah, in training, and then just kind of would you
The
keep
journey.
training? Yeah, perseverance. Like, I mean, would you keep training? Like, so Darren, you're still lifting, right? So
Yes.
would you ever like? Okay, so you stopped competing now, right?
Yeah.
Or would you ever get back into the meet again, or is it something you've kind of just like moved on from?
No, definitely. I like to compete again. Just take a bit of time to get back in shape and
Yeah,
slowly build up my base before I
yeah,
start pushing heavy. Because
yeah,
everything's a bit older and more fragile these days.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, we were also briefly talking about like the how like everyone's it's they're in the sport for only 2 3 years, couple of years before they hit out, and then everyone's like comparing as well, like how
Mhm.
people are comparing themselves to like the elites, where people have different backgrounds, and comparing yourself in powerlifting, it's like it's one of the most self-destructive things to do, right? So because it's not
Definitely.
something that you're not living their life, right? You're living your life, and yeah, what's
Definitely.
so what's your take on this whole, I guess, the world being connected now, like the powerlifting community being connected on social media and everyone just knowing what everyone's doing. um how yeah, what is your take on it?
Well, I can't say I relate
Mm,
much to
right,
well these days, but
yeah, all you
what is
powerlifters out there,
powerlifting?
follow at Lao Juncat.
Oh
Just to have a
yes,
look at all his food. This fucking food,
food.
dude. It's insane.
Oh
Yeah.
man. Yeah, whether it's powerlifting or any other sport, like even a sport like MMA, at the end of the day, what really keeps those in the sport that have kept at it is the initiative and the never-ending quest or to improve oneself.
Mm,
I mean, I went into powerlifting as a form to test myself and nothing more.
mm,
And records and medals along the way were just part of the journey. And the same thing in martial arts, man. You just want to get better, be the best that you can be, wherever that takes you. That's just cherry on top of the pie, right? So yeah, self improvement, man. Focus on that, and life will be better in every way.
Lots of wisdom in today's podcast.
Oh man, I feel like a dinosaur. But I mean, everyone has like everyone's insecurities. You know, no matter how they try to hide it, or no matter
Mm.
how they try to mask it with inferiority or superiority complexes. Everyone has insecurities, but once you really focus on what matters, that's yourself and close to you,
Mm.
find that peace within you. That's what keeps you going in the sport. You know, trying to be better and faster and stronger than everyone else. It doesn't last. You could be on top of the world, and next moment, some younger, stronger, better guy comes along. Um, what you really want to do is leave a legacy by trying to help others and improve community. Oh man, that's how people respect you and come to see you as great. Not that I'm there, but that's what I've seen in other people. And that's how I respect coaches like my old coach Rob. You know, he's well and truly past his lifting days, but he's a legend, man.
Mm. Yeah, definitely like, building the community. And yeah, I mean that's what at least we're trying to do here, like with the podcast, just trying to make kind of get like give people some insight into what's really happening, in the scene, and see if they're interested. And hopefully, one day people will listen to this and be like, yeah, damn, kind of want to try powerlifting. It sounds pretty cool, you know. Um,
Awesome, man.